So, hey, what's up? Uh, so yesterday I didn't, get around to streaming. Um, Sorry about that, but some things can't be avoided. And we're back here, and because no one's even watched the ones on YouTube, I have no idea what upgrades to get. So this is also going to be a bit of a longer one, and I'm thinking maybe because I don't know how long I'm going to do this for, because I'm only on the second chapter and I'm already at 5 episodes, so I may be doing this for a while.
Tell me what I can make for you.
But what I may do is make it so every 5th episode will be longer. Let's see. Mask optics, bone charm, I don't know what that is. Bolt capacity. Let's sleep dart. Okay, there we go. And that's what it's going to be for now. That's the upgrade done, but let me know what you think about longer episodes. Left all. Perfect. That's what I want. And yeah, so this, instead of 30 minutes, is going to be an hour long. And I think I'm about done with everything I need to do right here.
Maybe you haven't seen much of it, but the city has changed a great deal after the Empress died. Since the Lord Regent took over, the city watch is best avoided. Most people try not to go outside at all.
Alright.
I'm sorry it's so dark. We can't risk being seen. It is a bit romantic, though, isn't it?
Strange thing to say about hiding out in a building, but to each their own. Yeah, I started out going up here. Man, I clank so much when I walk. Okay, so this over here. This leads out to the beach area. Strange, but alright. How would you get up here? Is they clearly, like, built this walkway? Maybe an elevator there?
This is your room. It was chosen to give you privacy. I understand you'll need your rest.
Probably. I am going out to, you know, in their eyes, murder people, so I'd assume I'd need privacy. What the hell are this thing? Alright. Sorry if I'm a bit out of it. Still a bit sick. Alright. Let's just sleep, whatever. No matter. Ooh, interesting. Okay, I'm actually intrigued. Ooh, that's bright. The void. God, this is pretty. Now I'm gonna save my game. Why?
Hello, Corvo. Your life has taken a turn.
No.
Hello, Corvo.
Huh.
Your life has taken a turn, has it not? The Empress is dead. Her precious daughter Emily is lost somewhere in the city, and you will play a pivotal role in the days to come. For this, I have chosen you and drawn you into the void. I am the outsider, and this is my mark. There are forces in the world and beyond the world, great forces that men call magic. And now, these forces will serve your will. Use this newfound power, my gift to you. Come find me.
Fast, stealthy forward dash. The world can also be used to move upward, but the distance reduced. Alright. Interesting. You cannot savor, 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 you cannot savor. You cannot savor, 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 you cannot savor. You cannot savor. Did you know that? You cannot savor. I died. Corvo, I'm very sad. They say that you're dead like mother, but I'm gonna put this note in a bottle and throw it into the river because I do not believe them. Living here is very strange. I do not like it. So please come for me if you can. It's a very strange thing. Okay. Alright then. These things. Wow. Did anyone else see that?
days that follow, your trials will be great, Corvo. Seek the ancient runes bearing my mark in the lonely places of your world, and at shrines raised in my name. These runes will grant you powers beyond those of other men. To help you find these runes, I give you this, the heart of a living thing, molded by my hands. With this heart, you will hear many secrets, and it will guide you toward my runes, no matter how they may be hidden. Listen to the heart now, and find another rune.
Ooh. The heart will rush. My God, I'm really not feeling. Okay. So the heart will whisper secrets. I assume to lure enemies. Okay, so I'm supposed to fall down here? Do I know this place? Seems kind of familiar. Is this the tower? For a lot of this, you don't really need to use mana. Ooh. All right. Oh. All right. Now we're getting interesting. Yeah. Dark vision's definitely what you should get there.
How you use what I have given you falls upon you, as it has to the others before you.
Mm-hmm.
And now I return you to your world, but know that I will be watching with great interest.
Okay. I'd be freaked out too. They're trophies. Early life and criminal record Slackjaw. More reading. You want the chinwag on Slackjaw, what he was like when he was young before he got his name? Oh, he's got a cool head now, but it weren't always like that. In the days before he was boss of the Bottle Street gang, time was young. Slackjaw wasn't a reasonable man. Like most of us, he grew up on the street, running with a pack of ruffians and avoiding the law, pinching whatever he needed. dark-haired and dark-eyed, smoking a pipe by the age of 10. For them born into the brothels or coming from the orphanage, it was either the gangs or working with the mudlarks, and no one wants that. Some got pressed into the Navy or put down in the mines run by the Pendleton or Boyle families. As hard as it was on the streets, as hungry as we all got, at least it was free. At least we was free. At the time, we weren't little uns anymore. Slackjaw was one to watch, usually calling the shots when we took down a farmer's cart or sidewalk street vendor. He'd come up with a plan, give everyone some part to play, and decide on the split. Most of us just went along because we learned fast that we made out better like that. More food, more kind, plus none of us wanted to deal with Slackjaw when he was in a rage. He worked on a couple of big jobs with Black Sally across town. That was enough to get the attention of the other bosses. He wasn't just a street kid anymore. Now he was an up-and-comer, which meant trouble. Another guy who fancied himself as such was Mike the Fish. He was working his way up running the protection racket among the factory women. One fine evening, we're all taken in a body show at in the theater house. Mike the Fish and his lot are there, and the cheap seats too, just down the aisle from us. Mike gets a wild idea. He wasn't big on planning. There was a heavy ceramic spittoon at Spitjaw. Hits him square in the face and breaks his jaw. They look to see if there's going to be a blood bar, but Trasher just points at the door and we all leave, with Mike laughing at our backs. Waking up the next day without telling his wife, Slackjaw motions for us all to follow. He still can't say a word, so we just come along. We stop at the docks. He buys, actually pays coin for it. A heavy chain covered in hooks. It's for fishing in the deep, something you'd attach to a long line off side of a ship. It's about 4 feet, made of thick links, and there are shark hooks coming off at a different angle. Slapjack's got that thing wrapped around his left arm, dangling at his side. Not sure how he knew where Mike the Fish was staying, but when we reach his girl's house, Lecture throws a bottle through the window just like that. It's almost noon. There's a bunch of screaming inside, and Mike pokes his head out, looking wide-eyed and baffled. When he sees Slackjaw on the street, a look's come over his face that still gives me the willies. Pure murder. Mike comes out the side door bellowing like a blood ox, holding a cleaver, heading straight for Slackjaw. When they come together in the street, Slackjaw spins, and the shark hurts bite deep into Mike's arm and shoulder. He screams as Slackjaw holds onto the chain. He's standing there with his jaw broken, clenched tight, with the chain wrapped around his left arm, hung sook into Mike the Fish. Just knifing him as fast as he can. Mike couldn't fight very well like that and using his left hand, but he was a big guy and it took a lot of stabbing before it went to his knees. Everyone was cheering at first, then we all went quiet. Just kept going and going until finally it was just Mike the Fish blubbering, crying like a baby, and the sound of Slackjaw's knife. When it was over, and here's the brilliant part. Slackjaw took out a note, stuck to Mike's face with a nail, and just said, "If you want a job, come to Bottle Street." Slackjaw didn't talk right for a couple months, but word spread fast. At the end of the year, once we had a sizable gang going, he sent out letters to the other bosses telling them that he was running a brand new crew over on Bottle Street. Most of them laughed or beat up the guys who delivered the letters. Green-eyed Trishan came back missing a thumb, but apparently Slackjaw was expecting that kind of reaction and had a backup plan. A week later, 4 of the bosses were dead. Seemed like a series of unfortunate backs, but everyone knew better. One shot dead by the watch while standing in the middle of a meat market, another slipping and falling into the water out cold. One of the older bosses found in bed with his belly opened wide and a Tyrian pear stuffed in his mouth. Still not sure what that meant. And Shea Barnesworth was found bubbling in a cauldron of hot wax. Slackjaw sent out another set of letters, offers to be the underbosses, telling them they'd be treated fair as peers. He even sent Green-eyed Trish with one of the letters. All of the underbosses accepted. After spilling the guts of his main competition, Slackjaw went in for stabilizing his bill as real neat like, calling in favors, smoothing things over, giving everyone a little bit of coin or drink as a bonus, showing what he could be like as a boss, so everything got quiet, which always makes the boys of the City Watch nervous, of course. Word went out among the Royal Spy Masters snitches, the Responsible Citizens group they call themselves, telling everyone working in a shop or sweeping off the front steps of their homes to keep a watchful eyes for Slackjaw and his men, trying to suss out what they were up to and what had just happened. But Slackjaw ain't stupid. He greased a few palms among the shopkeepers and the watch too, telling them that he was in town to stay and things would be run properly from now on without so much blood. He's finally a real boss, ready to settle into the business of moving whiskey, running the hound fights, and offering up the ladies and gentlemen of the night if you take my meaning. Then the plague came. At first it seemed like a good thing. Few people got sick, and everyone wanted to buy these potions from Slovia Peria. Earth Elixir, spiritual remedy, they call them. So actually, Germany saw an opportunity. He had an old whiskey factory with a still where we could water the stuff down and sell it discounted. Doing the same with Slow Elixir was a smart plan. Pretty soon everybody in the slums was sick. This is good, but after a while, so many people down with the plague that everyone got scared. Everybody started asking real nasty, and everything fell apart. When people can't work, they don't have the coin for elixir, watered down or pure. When the Empress died, it seemed like Dunwall would slide into the void. Spies Master Burroughs took over, and the Watch started using all that new Slowkovic technology. Watchtowers, tall boys, and them arc pylons. They put up a wall of light across the Korean boulevard and cracked down hard, but Slackjaw bright as skin. Instead of leaving town on a boat bound for Murrah or one of the other isles, he stayed and kept it all together. We get as much of it to fight off the plague as the City Watch. Their task is in ration. That's kept us alive so far. Yeah, I know it's nearby. Journal grabbing ref. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it well. Oh. Alright. About halfway done. Alright. Of course, I tell you, Jerry, I won't keep any secrets from you in the end. All of the dreary days of my life are like the windows of a house. From the kitchen, I can see out into the garden where the leaves and stalks are brown and bug-eaten. See a little lump of dirt where something was wrapped in a blanket and laid to rest, along with a rows of twisting vines. The front room looks out into the street where the neighbors are all setting fire to their homes, barricading themselves inside, warm and snug, dearie. Don't forget about the bedroom either. It sees into a dreary alley where hooligans are playing a game with an old man. The first two are hitting him with sticks, and the girl with them is kicking at his dry old ribs. Oh, to have those bones to boil them in a pot. No one lives in my house anymore, dearie. No one you'd want to meet. When I lived there with my husband, we were fine people. For Moray, everyone would say your house is grand as a Bora Manor, better even. Your dinners are lavish and your parties are the best. When that young Slur came to paint my portrait, I was nearly still in my prime. Radiant, he said, and he was just barely a man, so young, painting all the best people across the land. Everyone wanted a portrait by his hand, all my friends. I was the only one, dearie, wet with his paint, glistening on the cabinets for a pretty coin. But it wasn't all partings and paintings. My husband and I weren't always at home. No, we traveled together, he and I, to the far ends of the Isles, beyond even, all the way to the red cliffs of Pandasia. To dig and rock, crawl through the caves, holding up candles and squinting at the walls. Many precious things we came upon, but none so precious as a boy with the black eyes, dearie. All those marks and bones, carved so deep and polished so bright. Brought the old bones home, hid them for my dear husband, and learned to boil them and carve them myself. I made such good presents, dearie, the little mute boy took them home. He loved them so. All the time he came back with new bones for me, holding them up so I could see it in his eyes. Even though his tongue was still, Granny, his eyes would say to me, carve these bones for me, make me another present. And he went so far, all the way to Dunwall Tower, the royal headsman himself now. My little mute boy and a shiny, shiny sword. Better bones were what I needed, you see. Better bones to carve and polish, scrape and gleam. My dear old husband was always tired. I made him soup, and then he was sick. Better bones was all. For my little mute boy, carved in the name of the one with black eyes. And after my husband was gone, given away as birthday gifts, I don't want to live there anymore. So now I'm old and don't have many to give my presents to. It's sifting through the garbage for granny rags and feeding the little birdies that gather at my feet. No one wants to have tea, dearie, especially those rude louts on Bottle Street. Slackjaw and his boy is always battling with an old woman, trying to make her way. In the end, we'll be together with him. You and me in the dreary night and the stars above and below. And always the one with the black eyes, dearie. I wonder if they all have black eyes. You know what I mean? Am I supposed to have this many bone shards? Alright. Now it's time for more reading. After I take a drink. Alright. More reading. Rumors and Sightings Dodd. Excerpt from an overseas covert field report. For over a year now I have lived away from the Abbey without the company of my overseer brethren or the guidance of the blind sisters of the Oracle Order. Days have passed with me sleeping in the dens of cut purses, murderers, and worse. Nights have seen me prowling through the worst alleys and wretched corners of Dunwall. I have taken my meals with killers. At times I have ventured beyond the city walls, meeting in forgotten graveyards, the outlying ruins frequently frequented by those of ill means. My beard has grown long, and I wear the wretched clothing and bits of boiled leather favored by the Bottle Street and Hather gangs, and by those rough men and women who make their trade knifing others in return for coin. My hands have run red with blood, it's true, but I have selected my targets with care, choosing among those criminals and heretics who were not fit to live, execute them justly, and using their deaths as a means of building my reputation. So far, this trick has allowed me to make my name among my murderous colleagues without taking the lives of the innocent. My goal is singular. I must impress the assassin named Dodd in order to get close to him. Of all the practitioners of black magic we have tracked, none concern the Abbey as much as Dodd. It is said that his mother was a witch from one of the archipelagos off the Pendesian coast, taken captive by pirates, venturing far from it. According to legend, by the time the ship returned, the captain was dead and the witch controlled the crew, with Dodd still a shadow in her belly. The earliest stories tell of a gang killer without mercy, moving among the shopkeepers and city watch officers of Dunwall like a reaper through wheat. Then a period of silence followed. Years we now believe he spent traveling the island, studying anatomy and the occult in the great halls of learning, and in hidden basements frequented by federal dabblers in the forbidden arts. Dodd is even to have spent a winter in the Academy of Natural Philosophy itself, and for a time, before a schism was developed, he counted the Bridgemore witches among his allies. All the while he honed his craft. It is during this time that we believe he began to consort with the outsider. New reports emerged of a dusky-skinned assassin paid by the elite to eliminate the rivals in Dunwall and in other major cities across the Isles. Those who saw him and lived numbered in the handful, but all of them reported something strange. He appeared and vanished like smoke. From a nearby rooftop he gestured, and a noblewoman stumbled from her balcony, falling to her doom on the cobblestones below. Most recently, as this new threat of plague has risen in Dunwall, Dodd has been seen leading a gang of men in dark leather dressed as factory whalers in their vapor masks. They seem loyal beyond comprehension for one so unworthy, leading me to wonder if it's some of his magic is dedicated to luring their minds and enslaving them. Only a month ago, one young girl claims to have come upon a strange scene, carrying a bottle of milk home to her crippled brother. She was taking a shortcut through the tailor's district in a narrow street. She passed beneath a window and heard unusual sounds from within. Pushing aside the ratty curtain, the girl saw into an abandoned apartment used by miscreants for gambling and trading hablerweed. Haberweed? An occult shrine had been erected against the far wall, which she recognized from teachings given to her by a local overseer. A man she described as resembling doll was kneeling before the shrine, muttering to an unseen spirit of his an argument. He took a carving made of pale bone from the altar before him. The lights all went out in a gush of unclean wind. Quiet as a field mouse, she slipped away, running until she reached her home. There can be no doubt. Doll is an agent of the outsider and must die, for there is no limit to the evil this man might do. This is my seldom oath and great purpose of my life until Dodd is dead, and his corruption has been purged from the world. I will continue to move among the depraved, winding my way toward him. I will not drop my guise or don my overseer's mask again until Dodd breathes no more. Alright. Halfway through. Alright. The role of spy. Except for the personal memories of Hiram Burns, studied several years earlier. This is the first month of high cold. Winter. Progress continues on the suppression of gang activity in the Dillery district, but more slowly than I expected. The ruffians offering there have been cunning, I'll grant them that, but it's only a matter of time. I see their leaders flogged in public and sent beneath the royal executioner's blade. If I had my way, that mute bastard would be working night and day removing the heads that need removing. Internally, the Empress does not seem pleased with my investigation. It seems that is beyond her thinking, against her very nature as a trusting blurrin to believe that traitors move among us. But I know they do. They must. No, Jasmine would rather spend her time with the royal protector. At least he's likely to stop any immediate threat to her safety. But a strong arm is not what's needed against those who would undermine us. How will Corvus stop a poisoned wine glass or an explosive delivered by courier? It will not. There are many threats around us, threats requiring meticulous efforts to police. Young Lady Henry is undisciplined, I'm afraid. Here within Dunwell Tower, she receives instruction for the finest tuners, knowing the hourly her mother spoils her, and she spends most of her time lost in imagination, wasting her time drawing or asking Cora to teach her to fight with wind sticks. The girl will rule the Empire someday. Every moment spent at play is a moment wasted. Shoring up security for the main gate leading into Dunwell Tower has been another pet project of late. To think that back in his day, Emperor Cora left it open to the public during the day, allowing anyone to come and go as it pleased. If it were up to me, I'd seal off access to the streets entirely. But the Empress won't hear of it. The water lock is much easier to protect, and if it were the only way into the tower, traffic in and out would be greatly reduced. Someday the wrong person is going to slip in and will suffer for it. Mark my words. No amount of security is excessive when it comes to protecting heads of state. The Emperor also produces my plan for the Solvik device. Solvik himself has no interest in security, of course, but he's vain and therefore keen to see his inventions deployed in any fashion. This wall of light he's been tinkering has its promises. In any case, at least I was able to convince the Empress to upgrade the pistols carried by the officers of the watch. Why do I worry so when no one else seems to care? If I ever fall asleep, we'll all sink into the ocean. Will the rough times clamber over the walls and fill themselves on our flesh? This is what I see in the same dream several times each month. If only I had more say in things, more authority, I could protect us all. But perhaps I've been working too hard. Dinner and an evening conversation with a certain lady of refinement might be in order. Perhaps somewhere nice in the estate district. So he went and grabbed prostitute. That's what I think that's saying. Alright. Oh, such a headache. I really wish I had, this feels very awkward to me, because, you know, I'm talking much no one right now. And I prefer it if people chatted or anything. But hey, maybe later on.
Attention, citizens of Dunwall. The old port district has been added to the evacuation list. The weeper
How do I
count
get up
for the
here
month of
beforehand?
siege has increased. The Lord Regent has decreed that plague ordinances will remain in effect through the month of rain. Stay alert and stay loyal.
Alright. Ooh. Ugh.
Elementary sums. History of the Isle. Geography of the Isles. The Seven Strictures. Litany of the White Cliff. Sayings of the Overseer. One day we'll get a few new books.
Alright.
Should I clear space for Samuel then?
If you like, but he won't use it.
Why?
He can't sleep in regular beds anymore, or that's what he says. Says he was in the Navy too long. Can you believe it?
Oh.
That pile of wood out there? It's a hovel he built from an old rowboat. Where does Admiral Havelock find these people, I wonder?
Good day, Master Corvo.
Alright. Yeah, I've read that. Maybe I should stop
For
reading the
treatment
books.
and rehabilitation.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not accomplishing much. I also find it interesting. Powers. Vitality. Cool. Alright. What? How the hell do I have 2,000 coin? Is this like a part of DLC thing? Oh, here. The ledge mechanic for this is not the best. Alright, I want to upgrade some stuff, I guess.
Havelock stopped in earlier, but I forgot what he wanted. What can I do for you?
Wait, I can buy that? Okay. Great. Perfect. All right. So there we go with that. Made more progress than I have on the other ones. Now everything's openable. I don't know. Oh, wow. That looks so different than what it used to look like. The darts cost less. Alright, let's see if the apartment's open. That's another thing. What should I talk about? I don't know.
Attention Dunwall citizens. Be advised, the river crust infestation has spread downriver, as far as the river mouth and flooded district. Do not attempt to approach or destroy a river crust. Any items recovered from doing so are considered state property.
All right.
Lydia and I trade chores sometimes, and I'm starting to think I never come out ahead. She's a smart one.
All right.
Well, let's get down to it. First off, I know that assassination is dark business, but sometimes good men have to do bad things to make the world right. Our purpose is clear. We want to restore Her Majesty's line by finding and putting Emily Kaldwin on the throne. To those ends, we'll hide, act in shadow, take them apart, piece by piece. Tonight, High Overseer Campbell dies by your hand. It won't be easy. He's protected by his overseers, an army of religious zealots. But if anyone can do it, you can. Your exploits are legendary. Campbell carries a private journal. Once you've eliminated him, get the journal, because we think it contains Emily's location. Recovering her is obviously critical, assuming she's alive. That's the gist of it. Remember our cause and strike true. We're counting on you.
Okay.
Another thing.
Okay.
Campbell is holding a former overseer by the name of Martin. He's one of us, and if you manage to find him, give him whatever.
Corvo. Hello. I'm
Hi.
Callista. I work here for Admiral Havelock. I'm sorry to intrude on your business, but this is important. I suspect you're going to kill the High Overseer. That wretched man. There's really no reason for you to listen to me. But my uncle, Jeff Kernow, still serves as captain in the City Watch. But he's a good man, and my only family. The chatter in servant circles is that Campbell just took delivery of an exotic poison. And I think I know why. My uncle's not corruptible like the rest of them. Campbell is going to poison my uncle. Do you think you could protect him? You used to do that, right? Before you had your current profession. Before you became an assassin.
Oh, for God's sakes. Alright. So this is like my home base, I guess.
Ready to go? Just give the signal.
Wait, what? Whatever.
It'll be a rough trip. Used to be to go straight up Clavering Boulevard, but now it's not so easy. Half the city's dead of the plague. The other half's fighting over what's left. City Watch still holds the bigger streets, and they've set up those wall of light checkpoints. A man walks through one of those, and he ends up burned to a crisp. Everything not controlled by the City Watch is gang territory. Then there are the real odd birds living on the fringes, like that Granny Rags. They say she's nuts. I don't know which is worse. Just take your pick.
Okay. Well, I want to talk to Granny Rags. I'm an idiot. Alright. So I'm gonna call it here. I'm just not feeling too good, but I'm still gonna try to do it tomorrow as well, but I'm not gonna do it over the weekends. I might decide to play some Minecraft or whatever, anything. Yeah, I do hope you're enjoying this series. I am, so far. It's nice action, adventure, and please do let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see. I have a wide range of things from what I'm currently playing now, Ghost Recon's Wildlands, to Enlisted, free to play. Just let me know. Hope you have a good day. I know this wasn't much of a diversion. But I do sincerely hope you have a good day. Alright.